Note to self, buy sunglasses.
How's it going? I just got a new bike. It's a Trek Farley 7 fat bike. I'll tell you all about it after this quick little ride that I'm going to do on it. I'll put the details at the end of the video. Here's the story. I got to Durango. There's a bunch of snow on the ground. I don't know if you can see out the window, but there's a bunch of snow on the ground. And I didn't have anything to ride. I had my highball, but my highball's got 2.4 tires on it. And you're really not supposed to ride skinny tires on the snow. I guess the locals get pretty pissed off because it tears up the trails or something like that. I don't know the whole story, but I'm not going to question it because it's not my place. So I got myself a fat bike. The guys at 2nd Avenue Sports hooked me up with a great ride at a great price, and they're taking care of me. So I'm really happy with the purchase. Now, this bike is very different from anything I've ever owned, and I've owned a lot of bikes, but this thing is weird. It looks like it could swim.
All right, let's get this fat bike on the road. Farley 7 by Trek. This is good hard-packed snow. It's not loose, it's not powdery, it's not deep. The wheels have no problem staying on top of it. Who knows how that's going to change up this trail. But so far, so good. 4 months at less than 100 feet above sea level. Now I'm well over a 6,000. I feel it. It's pretty out here today. But damn, I'm working. The snow, the altitude, and the fat tires. It's a double, triple whammy. Whew. It's beautiful out here though. Wow. Here's the Horse Gulch trail sign. I am here. I'm gonna cut wide. Oh, a little snowman by the bench. Ooh, turning is different. So much sideways motion. Gotta get used to that. I gotta say, these tires are surprisingly effective. I mean, you can probably guess what skinny tires feel like on snow. Slippy, slidey, digging in, trenching you up. These are surprisingly easy to turn. Starting on an uphill is damn near impossible because the rear tire, it just spins. Maybe I need to put more weight on the rear wheel. Yeah, that worked. Weight backwards. Whoop. This is too muddy, I shouldn't be here. I'm gonna walk through this. Better to push it up the hill than to ride up and dig up the mud and trench it out and possibly ruin the trail. I'm gonna take it easy. I mean, first of all, I think it's kind of foolish to go too fast on a snowy downhill. It's just inherently dangerous. Second of all, these tires take some getting used to. And being inexperienced like me, one could easily hurt themselves. Okay, I think I can pedal here. You gotta plan your line way ahead and then ride it. Because zipping around something if it catches you off guard, not a good plan. And this is rocky, so I can roll over this. It's not muddy. How's it going? This is an interesting place to ride a bike.
I know, it looks a little...
Hi puppers, how are ya?
At least you got the fat tires though.
Yeah, staying out of the mud. Have a good one. I'm gonna take the side route here, see if it's safe. Lower my seat. Thank God I got the one with the dropper post. Okay, drop in. Yikes. Yeah, I slid sideways into that. That was dangerous. One nice thing about riding in the snow, your bike doesn't get that dirty, really. Woo. This is scary. Drop. Nothing. Drop over. I'm gonna guess that it drops down into that little gulch there and meets up with the road. Yeah, those tires just go wherever they want, not where you want. Stand up on the bike. I can't say I've really noticed the fork suspension on this bike. Ooh, drop. Let's try it. That's what I was afraid of. I'm gonna be trying to get to the top of this trail while simultaneously trying not to ruin it. That's where I was. I came up, and this is the main road, Horse Gulch Road. Let's go back to the car. All right. Okay, so there's a lesson. If the trail has a tilt to it, you're going down. It's not up to you. Gravity reigns supreme on the Fatbike. Whew. And that front wheel goes out from under you. You feel it instantly. This is not a beginner activity. You gotta really have your bearings, have an idea how to move on a bike in order to do this successfully. At least that's my opinion. I got my dropper post down, trying to keep my center of gravity low. I sit down on the seat because my body weight is connected to the bike. Oh. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. Oh God, snow down my pants. Oh, it's cold. There's this little channel that runs the length of the trail, and my front wheel went right into it and the bike just jumped in head first. Well, one crash, not too bad. You really have to pick your line way in advance and commit to it. Yeah, any variation in the trail is going to send your wheels just sliding sideways. In fact, I don't want to pick up too much speed on this. Yeah, it's getting a little slushy. Is it going to go sideways? It is a little bit. Not much though. Slushy. Now, this was not this melted even coming up the trail. It wasn't this bad. Howdy. Alright, here we are. They got a plenty hot to get all the ice off my bike. Howdy.
Wow, that was one hell of a ride. I'm tired. I totally overworked myself. That was a cardio workout, and it's probably not a bad thing that I did it. But boy, I'm sweating a lot. I overdressed. You know, the shirt, maybe not, but the pants, I got 2 layers of pants on. I only needed 1. That's okay, that's how you learn, right? Got the bike packed up in the back and gonna hit the grocery store on the way home. Then I might start editing video.
The Trek Farley 7 is a pretty amazing bike.
Yo soy El Nino.
Ridiculous, but amazing.
El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
At first glance, a fat bike looks like a hardtail that had an allergic reaction to something. Those tires are nuts. In reality, the bike is a well-engineered vehicle that allows the rider maximum control in a forum where control is not often easy to attain.
How does this thing handle in the snow? Deep snow. Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's a lot harder to pedal.
How is a fat bike different from a typical hardtail? The tires are, of course, very, very fat. They can reach widths of over 5 inches wide. This added rubber yields a footprint that allows for more traction and a larger surface area, therefore less likelihood of sinking in surfaces like snow or sand. People say the bikes are better on mud, but that hasn't been my experience.
I do not want to walk through that, and I don't want to ride through that.
As a result of these wider wheels, fat bikes have much wider rear triangles, wider forks, larger hubs and rims, and a wider spindle on the bottom bracket. All of these things allow for the bike and the rider to accommodate these larger dimensions. Fat bikes take a lot more effort to pedal. The gears are the same as a typical mountain bike, but the soft tires and even softer ground cover can make pushing those pedals a lot tougher. This is great if you're looking for a way to sustain cardio in the winter months, when the roads are frozen. It's not so great when you're looking for a cross-country performance bike on snowy powder.
I'm working. The snow, the altitude, and the fat tires. It's a double, triple whammy.
The rolling resistance on these bikes is considerable. An easy, sprinty ride is unlikely to be found.
I'm warm, but I don't know if it's the clothes or the fact that I'm working hard.
So what's in the build? The Trek Farley has an aluminum frame with a steep sloping top tube, providing great clearance in those situations where you might need to step off the bike and into deep snow. The welds are super pretty. It's so light, and it's surprisingly spry for such a big bike. The horizontal sliding dropouts allow custom tuning of the geometry, but in a small way. You're adjusting in millimeters, not centimeters. I'm not sure how much this helps, but it looks cool. The frame features internal routing for the shifting and dropper post, and external routing for the brakes. Supposedly, this is to create fewer opportunities for crud to get inside the frame, and for easier maintenance. Personally, I've never had an issue with accessing internally routed lines, but to each their own. This design definitely works. The Manitou Mastodon is a super wide air spring suspension fork with TPC rebound damping. It has 100 millimeters of travel, and I don't think I approached that on my inaugural ride. It is a smooth travel fork that feels fine and doesn't hold back the bike at all. SRAM T-level brakes are a great, reliable hydraulic disc braking system that is responsive and smooth. They use a lot of the same parts that my other bikes use, so these are a welcome addition to the stable. SRAM NX shifters and a SRAM GX rear derailleur work well with the standard SRAM 12-speed chain to provide a great, reliable shifting system through 12 speeds.
Well, my other 2 bikes have axis shifters. This has classic SRAM thumb shifters, and they're different. I got so used to the SRAM axis that these just feel weird, and my thumb doesn't know where to go. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but, you know, why do they all have to be so different?
The 11-50 cassette is standard and matches the X01 and XX1 setups that I have on my other bikes. Everything is cross-compatible. The SRAM 30-tooth Eagle chainring is smaller than I'm used to, but it'll work well in the likely situations where I need a lot of torque. The cranks, standard X1 dub 170mm, are strong and can take any punishment I'll throw at them. These DMR V11 pedals are simple and cheap. I went with a nylon pedal over metal because it expands less when going from cold to hot to cold again. Lightweight and reliable. This Transx JD YSP18 is a simple 130mm travel post that gets the job done. The Bontrager Arvada is not my first choice, but it's not a bad seat for a basic build. If I find I don't like it, I'll put a WTB saddle on later. A simple Bontrager Elite stem will likely get replaced eventually, but it does the trick until I decide how I want to modify this ride. The Bontrager Alloy 31/8 bar has a 7-degree bend and feels just fine. This will definitely be replaced with a leftover carbon bar that I have at home. The Bontrager XR Trail Comp grips feel great. I may just keep these until they wear out and I'll replace them with Trail ones. The Bontrager Narwhal Team Issue tires are, to put it mildly, insane. The 4.5-inch width combines with the aggressive knobs to really work hard to get traction on those mushy and slippery slopes. These 120 thread per inch tires feature a stud-ready pattern, and they're also tubeless ready. I really don't know what to make of these wheels. They're definitely not high-performance, lightweight wheels, but is that even possible on a bike like this? The hub width alone makes me wonder how easy it would be to get high-end replacements. The Sun Ringley Mulefoot 80 32-hole rims look more like rain gutters on this bike. They save on weight with the inner cutouts, but they still look pretty heavy. But they're great conversation starters. This bike handles differently from any other bike I've ever ridden. It's sluggish, it drags, and it takes real effort to climb. But I expected all of those things. This bike isn't a ballerina, it's a sumo wrestler. No disappointment from my end. The dynamics of riding in snow can be dangerous if you're not careful. I know I said it in the video, but I'll repeat it. You need to pick your lines early and commit to them. There's no room for, oh, that line looks better, or I'll jump over real quick. If you do that, you're gonna slide and possibly crash.
Let's try it. That's what I was afraid of.
Lateral camber sloping, or trails that are not level from side to side, are this bike's super weakness. Fat bikes want to go downhill, and the snow only facilitates that. If you hit an off-camber trail, then you're going wherever the down leads, and I have not yet figured out how to beat this.
Yeesh. Well, it ain't light, but it's carryable.
The bike is heavy, weighing in at 35 pounds.
Yeah, this is definitely the way to do it.
But the snow resistance is greater than the perceived weight gain, so I didn't notice the heaviness. It felt like a maneuverable bike that was easy to handle, and it rolled well over obstacles. This bike handles really well. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you out there.